Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Teddi Mellencamp's small son lives in fear, checks her breathing amid cancer battle. Reality star Teddi Mellencamp has recently been sharing her health journey with fans, especially following a diagnosis of stage 4 cancer. Recently, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills opened up about her family amid her cancer battle and how they are handling things. In particular, she shared an emotional story about her son, as well as some advice for fans. Mellencamp, the daughter of musician John Mellencamp, is arguably best known to audiences thanks to appearing on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She had been part of the main cast from seasons 8 to 10, appearing as a guest in subsequent seasons. Back in October 2022, Teddi had been diagnosed with a form of skin cancer, Stage 2 melanoma, which progressed to Stage 4 by April 2025. In addition, she has been hospitalized for brain tumors. Over the past few months, Teddi has shared her story with various outlets, including podcasts and her own social media accounts. Recently, she spoke with Extra's Billy Bush about this difficult time. Teddi appeared with a blonde wig, musing that, "I was like, I can't be looking like I've got a toupee up here." She admitted, "Today is a good day. I think what I've learned through all of this is some days, I'm gonna feel great. Some days, I'm not. Everybody's journey's different." Teddi noted that she tries to keep positive through it all. She shared, "I would say a big thing has been all of the people messaging me saying, 'I went and got checked because of you,' or 'My doctor only had me get this checked, and then I said no, you should also do this.'" The Real Housewives alum also discussed when she can expect to learn more. She continued, "Wednesday, I go in and get my next CAT scan, where they'll find out if these recent tumors are getting smaller, and then I also get my third round of immunotherapy." That said, she had courage over what would happen. She shared, "I feel like in my heart of hearts, I'm going to beat it." However, Teddi also shared she's still worried for her kids. She noted, "I get sad at the idea of not, and my kids are young. My kids are young, and I still have a lot more trouble to cause. I have so much. I'm nowhere near ready, and I feel like I'm gonna fight as hard as I possibly can. But no, it's scary." As for how her kids are handling things, Teddi shared, "I think the girls are okay because they just are so chatty. You know, they ask everything. Cruz, my son, he is a little bit confused because he's not asking questions." The Real Housewives star noted her son has especially grown concerned for her. "The other day I was having a sip of, taking a sip of something, and he goes, 'Can I have a sip?' I was like, 'Yeah, sure.' And he goes, 'Never mind, actually you're contagious.' And I'm like, 'I'm actually not contagious, bud.' And like, he'll come in the middle of the night and like, check that I'm breathing." Before the conversation was over, Teddi also wanted to share some important advice for fans. "Go get checked. Everybody do it. I know it's annoying. I know the appointment may be 3 months out and it'll drive you nuts, but it's worth it." Have you been following this story? Make sure you come back for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news. At just 5 years old, Cruz Arroyo shouldn't have to worry about mortality. His biggest fear should be about monsters under the bed, not whether his mother is breathing as she sleeps. But the soft rustle of the covers and the steady rise and fall of his mom's chest have become his lifeline, something he checks like clockwork. Teddi Mellencamp, reality star, accountability coach, and mother of 4, has been bravely open about her ongoing battle with stage I melanoma, a diagnosis that has sent shockwaves through her seemingly picture-perfect life. But what the public often doesn't see is the ripple effect of illness, the way it moves silently through the home, unsettling even the smallest hearts. Cruz, her bright-eyed son, with curls like sunshine and a heart far too tender for this world's cruelties, has become a quiet sentinel in the house. While his siblings still bustle with the carefree energy of childhood, Cruz watches, listens, worries. He doesn't fully understand cancer, but he understands that mommy is sick, and that sick can mean scary things. It started with him sneaking into our room, Teddi shared softly in a recent interview, her voice trembling but steady. I'd wake up at 2 a.m. to find him just staring at me, not saying anything. Just
Teddi,
watching to
who's
see no stranger to public scrutiny thanks to her role on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This new spotlight is much harsher, far more raw. There's no script here, no glamorous angles, only the brutal honesty of a mother trying to stay strong while pieces of her life are under siege. The melanoma that began as a single suspicious spot has turned into a relentless foe, requiring surgeries, biopsies, and ongoing treatment. And through it all, she must keep a brave face, not for the cameras, but for her children. Cruz's nightly routine now includes more than bedtime stories and hugs. He presses his little ear against his mom's chest, listening for the heartbeat. He asks questions like, "Will the doctors fix you this time? And what happens if they can't?" His innocence is a blade, one that cuts through Teddi's defenses every time. I tell him I'm strong. I tell him I'm fighting, she said, her eyes brimming with tears. But it kills me inside that he's even asking. Teddi has always been about resilience. The daughter of legendary rocker John Mellencamp, she grew up in the glare of fame but made her own name as a health coach, pushing others to take control of their lives. Ironically, it's control that cancer robs you of most. No matter how many healthy choices you make or how fit your body is, some battles are invisible until they surface, uninvited and unrelenting. Her home, once a place of laughter and chaos, now carries an undercurrent of caution. Pill organizers rest beside the blender. Sticky notes with reminders for appointments decorate the fridge. And Cruz, once the wild child who loved building obstacle courses in the backyard, is now more likely to be found curled up beside his mother, holding her hand like a lifeline. It's like he's afraid if he looks away, I might disappear, she whispered. Children, especially ones as sensitive as Cruz, absorb the emotional weather around them. They may not have the vocabulary for what's happening, but they feel it. And sometimes they carry more than their share of the emotional weight, becoming caregivers in their own small way. Teddi and her husband, Edwin Arroyev, have made every effort to maintain a sense of normalcy in the household. There are still school drop-offs, family dinners, and movie nights. But even amid the laughter, there's a shared understanding, an awareness that things have changed, that mommy is going through something none of them fully understand. Social media has become both a refuge and a release for Teddi, who documents her journey not out of vanity but vulnerability. In her Instagram stories, she shares raw glimpses, her bandaged incisions, her sun-protected walks, her moments of fear. She also shares Cruz's quiet acts of love. A drawing he made of her with a superhero cape, a handmade bracelet with the word hope, a whispered I love you as she dozes on the couch. He's my little guardian angel, she wrote in one caption, the photo showing him asleep with his hand resting gently on her stomach. Too young to carry this worry, but strong in ways I can't describe. What Teddi is enduring is unimaginable. But what Cruz is feeling, what so many young children of cancer patients endure, is equally profound. Their fears manifest not in words, but in actions. In the way they cling a little tighter, listen a little harder, grow up a little faster. Teddi has said more than once that she's fighting not just for herself, but for her kids. I have to beat this, she told her followers. Not just because I want to live, but because I can't bear to see that look in Cruz's eyes anymore. That fear, that sadness. Doctors remain cautiously optimistic. With early detection, aggressive treatment, and continued vigilance, the odds can be in her favor. But the emotional healing for both mother and son will take longer. Cancer doesn't just scar the body, it leaves imprints on the soul, especially on the hearts of those who love the patient the most. For now, Cruz will keep listening for her breath. He'll keep whispering goodnight with that mix of hope and fear. Teddi will keep fighting with everything she has, and with a little more borrowed from the strength of a boy who loves his mother more than he understands fear. And somewhere in the silence between night and morning, in the rhythm of her breathing, and the soft sighs of a sleeping child, there is a promise that love, in its purest form, might just be the strongest medicine of all.